I bow to all the seekers of truth. It is such a pleasure to come to this old city of Bath. The Romans who lived here are so much changed today that it's impossible to locate the Romans who lived here. Life has changed in these modern times to a very, very great extent. And the ideas about life is also very much changed. As the society has evolved, we reach a point where we start thinking, what next? As if what Romans wanted, the power, we have enjoyed it now. Then they wanted to have money, possessions, we have enjoyed all that. And seen the nonsense of it. And now beyond that, we are seeking something more, something that is not known as yet. But there's a feeling that we have to search something greater, higher, something that is absolute. This special category exists today in thousands, in millions, I should say, all over the world. And this I call as the blossom time, when thousands have to become the fruits. It's a special time, very, very special time, mentioned in all the scriptures as the resurrection time, or the time of judgment, or Krita Yuga in the Indian scriptures. It's very clearly written about Krita Yuga in the Indian scriptures that at this time people will have connection with the divine, Sakshat. They will get their realization that they call as Atma Sakshatkar. And everything will be done, finished and completed. This is how they have explained these modern times. But on the other hand, modern time is a time of complete confusion, of complete relativity, where people really don't know what to do with themselves. The value system that was very primitive in the beginning became somewhat rigid because of too many boundaries to the movement of life, movement of mind. And then they started breaking the boundaries so much that they have lost all the shape and forms. There's so much of intermingling into those colors that we had that it's hard to recognize what was human being, what is he, and what is he going to be. The question today faces us is this: are we born on this earth to live, have our food, some insurances, and have some children, grandchildren, and then to die? It's something like animal's life, isn't it? What's so great of becoming a human being? So we understand one thing, that human beings have a capacity to do something great for the collective, for the people who are surrounding them, for the society in which they live. And this itself has given rise within us to this awakening that we have to find out a way and method by which we do things for the collective, for the rest of the world. It's very, very evident, this awareness, that we cannot live alone. There has to be some sort of a connection with the whole, and that we should find out that connection by which we can really spread the goodness, the virtuousness, the bliss of peace. Now, the main thing is that when we start doing any such work or any such social work or any such helpful work for the collective, we develop some sort of an ego within ourselves. It's a very common thing. Like I was a president of one of the organization in India called President of the Blind. And when they wanted to invite the governor, see, very prominent ladies of very high-ranking families, they had a big quarrel among themselves. Who is going to sit next to the governor? I was quite amazed at them. I said, because you will be facing the blind, and blind can't see a governor from another person. And what is there to fight about this, that who is going to sit next to the governor? And it was so surprising that the fight became so severe that one could not find out any solution, so I used some humor to say, all right, what we will do, we'll put a big plank on top of the head of the governor, and some can sit like sparrows on one side and some can on the other side. And only with that kind of a humor I could neutralize their ideas, because even when they are so educated, they are well placed in life, they are very well off people, and they want to help others because they think that we must help the poor, the people who need our money or maybe our guidance, and they come out, give their time, money and all that, and they end up so stupidly about that social work. So it amounts to this, that when we try to help anyone, actually what do is to help ourselves. Because we can't bear it within ourselves, that's why we are trying to help another person. But the trouble is, the awareness of this is not there. And that's why people suffer from either the ego or some sort of a conditioning when they come closer to another society. Like any society, take it now. For example, I am now in British society, we can say, or English society. When I come here, immediately you have to adjust yourself to that society. For example, I wear this red mark. So everybody will laugh at you, make fun of you. Then you'll start wondering, what is this? And you'll just rub it off, you see? Because you'll think that something funny is happening. Like in India, if you go and if you put on lipstick in the villages, people will say, what's wrong with this lady? Why is she putting on lipstick? You see, it's not supposed to put there. So then everybody will laugh and see that this is something funny she's doing. And she will try then to adjust herself to their requirements, and that's how we get into our conditionings. So either when you are dealing with the society, you either develop your ego or you develop your superego or your conditioning. So what is the problem? Why do we develop these things? We should not. We should stand on our right. We should stand as we are. And we should see the whole world as a witness. So the problem is this, that when you deal with the society, you must know that you are the part and parcel of the whole. That everyone you see, whether he is English, Indian or Arabic, are all part and parcel of one great being called God Almighty. And when these parts are not awakened, then they think they are separate and they fight among themselves. Or they condition each other, or they challenge the ego, and like that it goes on. But once they are aware about this collectivity, that they are part and parcel of the whole, they become one. They start moving in unison. Like in helium gas experiment, they have found out that when you start reducing the temperature of helium gas, all the molecules which were fighting with the heat just cool down, and they become so collective that their movement and everything goes in the same direction. Like the birds, they move according to the leader. In the same way, the movement starts. This happening has to take place within us when we talk that we have to have peace in this world, we have to have all the best things, and that people should live peacefully and happily.